Hi, this is Reniel and I welcome you back to my Irie Kitchen, where big things has not stopped happening. I'm grateful to all of you who sent me your messages of encouragement, who've been asking me to come back over the years. I haven't forgotten about you, and I want to urge you to check into my other video and I'll explain to you why I haven't been there. Today, I'm going to be making something that has been very well requested from me over the past few years that I haven't been here, and that's the oxtail. So today I'm going to show you how to make oxtail. Yes, oxtail the Jamaican way with my twist. So I want to put that out there ahead of time. I'm going to teach you some secrets as to how to make it a little bit more flavorful, how to make it a little bit stress-free in cooking, and how to take a little bit of the work out of it, because oxtail does require a lot of work. So we're going to shorten that up a little bit. I also want to let you know it's really no big secret. Oxtail does take a longer time to cook, and you're going to see what I do as far as the process go with browning it. But here's this big secret. If you know how to cook brown stew chicken, you know how to cook oxtail. And that's pretty simple. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to do our oxtail with rice and peas, green beans. I'm not going to show you how to do the rice and peas again, because I've showed you how to do that with the gungo peas and with the red peas. I'll show you how I do my green beans, add a little flair to it. So all of these ingredients are not for the oxtail, but I'll tell you what they are, and as we go along you'll kind of figure out where everything else goes also. So I have over here first is a mixture of bell peppers, red, green, yellow, some leeks, some onions, and some celery, coconut milk, and some butter. You know where that's going. Scallion, butter beans, that's for the oxtail, some tomato sauce, a little bit of flour and brown sugar, my mixture of all-purpose seasoning or seasoned salt, some ginger, some thyme, some garlic. And this is my secret ingredient that I'm going to tell you what we're going to do with a little bit later. And of course, the oxtail. The oxtail, I went ahead and seasoned it up ahead of time. It has some all-purpose seasoning in there. Some browning, of course, the Grace browning. Some black pepper, a little bit of salt, some leeks, some thyme, some onions, and some garlic. And so, we're going to work it out. So you'll notice on the stove I have this one red cast iron pot, and I have this bowl. The reason why I have the two of them is because with my current situation, this pot might not be big enough for me to brown all of the oxtail in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to brown a little bit at a time. Once that's brown, I'm going to put it in the bowl. We're going to do all of that. The pot is already hot, so I'm just going to pretty much cover the bottom with some oil. Just a little bit of oil. The oxtail already have fat on it, but just to help it along the way. That pot is really hot. So when I say brown in the oxtail, pretty much is I have the browning on it already, but oxtail have a tendency, if you add too much liquid to it right away without really searing the skin and searing the color real well, then the browning will kind of wash off, for lack of a better term. And nothing, me personally, I can't stand an oxtail that looks real white, or I guess white is not the tone, but not nicely caramelized, I guess. So I'm just going to add a little bit of at a time to the pot, just enough to cover the bottom. Make sure your fry's up really high, and basically all you're going to do is allow the oil and the heat to just kind of sear the meat real well, sear the color into the meat real well. Let it simmer for a few minutes, or sear for a few minutes, and then stir it again, and just keep kind of doing that. And this is what I mean by the lengthy process. But I promise you that once the browning part is done, I'm going to show you how to simplify the rest of it. And this is where the difference comes with the brown stew chicken. Because of course, with the brown stew chicken don't take nearly as long to cook. So you don't have to go through that huge process. I didn't do it today, but a little trick, what you can do is if you have a long sheet pan or one that's big enough to fit in your oven, put a little bit of grease at the bottom of the pan, get it nice and hot. Take your oxtail, after you've seasoned it up like that, mix a little bit of your oil in with the oxtail, spread it out on the sheet pan, crank that oven up as high as it could possibly go, and put it in there and let it just, keep an eye on it though, because your oven is as high as it can go. So keep an eye on it, but that'll help to kind of sear the meat in. Halfway through, just kind of stir it, put it back in, but keep an eye on it. And we're just gonna pretty much keep going, just like this. I know it's time consuming, but everybody loves the way oxtail tastes, so it's gonna be well worth it, I promise you. This might not be something you want to do on a Monday night after coming home from work. This might be more of a Saturday morning, working into the evening, fixing the family a big dinner type thing, but at least you'll know how to do it. And I'm teaching you on a Wednesday night. Okay, I had to put on an apron because my lovely red shirt was getting splashed on with oil. But it's about time to take the oxtail out. I know it looks like, oh well, she kind of burnt it. No, I didn't. That's the way you want it to look. And so what I'm going to do, take it, put it in that bowl that I told you about right here, and then I'm just going to keep on going. If you have a larger pot, by all means use it. I have a larger pot, but in all honesty, I didn't want you to see me dealing with the big old ginormous dirty pot right now on the stove. So we're just going to keep doing that until I get all the oxtail brown. Try to keep out as much as the peppers and onions of it as possible. Just kind of scrape it off the meat because that has a tendency to burn real quickly. So this is about how you want it to look. And I'm just put them in the bowl. And keep it moving till I get them all like that. Some people like their oxtail in big old chunks. Some people, like me, I prefer them to be a little smaller. And 9 times out of 10, when you go to the store, you will find them a lot bigger than this. So, you do like I do. You go to the butcher, and you say, Mr. Butcher Man, can you please get me a fresh oxtail from the back? And can you please cut it up for me? I don't want it cut at the joints. I want it to cut up real nice and small. And 9 times out of 10, they'll do it for you. And if somebody won't do it for me, I'll go to another butcher. Okay, look at that. We're magically done. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer the rest of this to that bowl.